Welcome to GTV Breakfast. Ghana works better when we all play our part, so pay your TV license fee today. Dial star 447 star 333 hash to pay, star 447 star 333 hash. That's how you pay your TV license fee. Not too well, but too busy to go to the hospital? With Berry Health, you can video call medical doctors right from your phone and have medication delivered to you wherever you are in Ghana. No need to leave the home or your office. Berry Health, the #1 online medical service. Berry Health, your phone, your doctors, your peace of mind. Go to ourberry.com or just Google Berry Health and chat with a doctor today. First appointment discount easy. Just text GTV on 055 422 0883 and let's get you smiling again. Here's one from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, reminding all business operators, especially foreign nationals, that Ghana's primary investment law, the GIPC Act 2013, Act 865, strictly reserves the sale of goods and services in the market areas for Ghanaians and Ghanaian-owned enterprises only. Section 27(1)(a) of the GIPC Act prohibits foreign nationals from engaging in petty trading, hawking, or selling goods in a stall at any place. GIPC also urges all businesses with any foreign ownership, no matter how small, to register with the center as mandated by law. The center calls on all stakeholders to comply with these regulations as it collectively works to build a fair and enabling business environment for all. For details on doing business in Ghana, visit gipc.gov.gh or call 030 2665 12529 030 2665 12529. You can also follow the center's social media handles at GIPC Ghana on all platforms for regular updates. Also remember, Ghana remains open for business. That's from the GIPC. Now let's see what the front pages of the newspapers are looking like this morning. What are the big stories? The Ghanaian Times leading with that key one on roads. Traveling of Fanko and Sawam Road hellish. Contractor assures relief soon. Government releases $77 million for the project, and you can see the floods on that stretch. Heavy traffic with big trucks there. B-STEM initiative for basic school teachers launched. Borderless Africa visa-free movement campaign picks up steam. And on the helicopter crash, the president thanks Ghanaians international community for their support. And this is the Ghanaian Times. Our thoughts remain with the families at this time. The Daily Graphic, leading with Ghana begins legal timber exports under new EU legal framework. Photograph of some officials there. 998 prisoners granted presidential pardon. Agrada Atu Asian not included in the list must be a gushing one for Madam Apiedu. The government to introduce STEM subjects at basic level. And it's the Education Minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, who has been pictured with that story. Written Wasi starts tomorrow. Good luck in advance to all those who are writing. Women protest against Bunkpurungu Nakmanduri clashes. Page 13 has the details of that story. Today's Daily Graphic. The Daily Guide, government receives over 200 prophecies, 80% of no use. Selvage Efriye Anchor, the presidential envoy on interfaith matters, speaking there. Mother whips cheating son's corpse at accident scene. Mahama grants amnesty to 998 prisoners, and Gold Board enforces receipts in gold trade. The Daily Guide has the details in today's edition. The Chronicle, storm over Mahama's trip to Japan, and Lady Cashier allegedly steals 5.4 million Ghana cedis from Cass Estate. The Chronicle has the details of these stories in today's edition. The Daily Searchlight, ban small-scale mining. Galamsey now. Movement for change tells government Mahama has abandoned the Kufuor projects that create employment. Afenyo Markin speaking there. Extend farmers awards to basic and senior high schools to inspire youth. Showboy speaking. Open letter to President. Ghana can be transformed in 3 years, says Tasman Owusu Treneboa. The Daily Searchlight will give you all the details in today's edition. The Dispatch, paternity crisis in a West African country. 25% of fathers not biological parents. A DNA report is making the claim. You can find details On page 17, Joyce Bawa Mokhtari grieves for Dr. Omane Boama. We are still keeping the helicopter crash victims in our thoughts. Ghana's aviation tragedies from 1969 to 2025. You can find details on page 10. Equip armed forces to deal with disasters. Former security capo speaking. I have a presidential ambition. MPP's Mriku Duka. And you can get details in today's Dispatch newspaper. And that's all we'll have time to bring you by way of front pages for today. Let's see what Maltiti is up to. She'll introduce her guest and get into the details of today's conversations. Titi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Thelma, for those updates, the big stories that are making the headlines this morning. And my guests are seated for us to go into it. Join the conversation live on GTV Ghana on Facebook. We're streaming there, and so you can leave us your thoughts and comments this morning. At the table is Professor Daniel Bruce. He's a clinical psychologist, a friend of the show. Prof, good morning. Welcome back to the table. Mr. John Kuku Jani is forensic psychiatry specialist. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Welcome. How are you?
I'm well.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
And so the big stories, we want to dive into the gold board issues. But gentlemen, I'll give you a minute on what's been on your mind the entire week. Let me start with you, Mr. Chani.
Let me say quickly a good morning to the Chief of Staff, Mr. Julius Debra. He's been a good man. He has our support any day, any day. And also to say good morning to all the chiefs of Greater Accra, Gamashi, who were involved in their Homo War Festival this weekend past. It was a fantastic event. And you know, for once I felt that because there has been no quarreling within the groups there, everything went very well. I would suggest that it continues like that, and that the next step is to look at how the youth can get into the education system. Right. There's too much poverty within certain sectors of the inner cities, like Jamestown,
even in the capital,
like Bukom, like Choco, and all that. The poverty is too bad. And the chiefs are an important catalyst in making sure that there will be some improvement in the lives of the people within this area. Right. So we wish them well. They should keep it up. The fighting should stop. Whenever you quarrel, money won't come to you. Improvement will not come to you. You understand? So they should ensure that as we're quarreling, they lock themselves inside the houses, quarrel, finish it, and then come out, and let's see that everybody's on the same page.
I know that the Chief of Staff has asked that flags should fly at full mast now after the burial of the 8 fallen heroes. Prof. Bruce?
Yeah. What's my mind this morning is to side with my brother, congratulating the Gans for the Homo that they have celebrated. I know in September they will move to Togo.
Yes.
Aneho and the Gliji to go and celebrate their cousins over there. They have a huge community of Gan migrants there. Right. The Bruce family, the Lawson family, they are all there.
So we have family up there.
After here, they will go there and celebrate the Homo also over there. So if they go, we greet them.
Yes.
Yeah. And what's on my mind, I want to actually congratulate the government for what is normally done by presidents, granting pardon to convicts.
The amnesty.
But there's something we call recidivism. Recidivism, the tendency of a criminal to reoffend and go back to prison. We hope that those people who have been granted this amnesty or pardon should not go into this type of thing to reoffend. Absolutely. And why do they reoffend? When they are released, the people outside there label and mislabel them. Sometimes they believe that they are not changed. And so even if they are passing genuinely, they will be whispering, hey, hide your thing, hide your thing, hide your thing. I mean, it makes them paranoid and think that the society does not accept their return.
Absolutely. Prof, I'll come back to you. Because you're a psychologist, I want you to talk more on that amnesty, but I want us to go to the phone lines because we have Prince Minta on the phone. He's with Gold Board. He's a media relations officer. It's because Gold Board has released a press statement beginning its enforcement of the use of Gold Board receipts by licensed buyers. And so Prince Minka has joined us on phone. Hello, Prince Minka. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Motiti. Good to be on the show and great talking to you as well. What's on my mind is Gold Board.
Absolutely. And it's great to talk to you about Gold Board. What is this directive? How necessary has it become for you to put out this enforcement directive?
Okay, so it's pretty simple. We are only exercising our regulatory function as the sole seller, buyer, assayer, refiner, exporter of Ghana gold. And when it comes to gold transaction in Ghana, you know that our regulatory function is only aimed at ensuring that Ghana is able to maximize national benefits from our gold and other precious minerals. And that's why we've commenced this nationwide enforcement of the mandatory use of gold board receipts by all licensed buyers in the purchase and sale of gold in Ghana. And you know, the issuance of the gold board receipts by our licensed aggregators and self-finance aggregators, as well as those who hold buyer license tier 1, as well as buyer license tier 2, and I'm referring to the buyers, has become a necessity, has become compulsory requirement for gold trading, and also a critical condition for the validity of all transactions. So if you would want to evaluate the validity of a transaction, the issuance of the gold board receipt will make that difference. You know, the last time that we, nabbed some of these gold smugglers, they had with them certain kinds of receipts. It is the gold board receipt that will make a difference. It is the gold board receipt that will make anyone who would want to see if the transaction is valid to be able to truly determine that. And that's why we're going to be ensuring full compliance. And in ensuring the full compliance, we're going to be sending our gold board task force and field inspectors across the country. And so all licensed buyers are required to make their receipt booklets available for inspections and cooperate fully with the inspections teams who will be coming around.
Okay.
And we also want to advise the licensed small-scale miners, because it is them that our licensed aggregators and then the buyer license tier 1 and then the buyer license tier 2 go to purchase from. And that's why this advice is very critical. We're advising all small-scale miners and gold traders to insist on the issuance of the gold board receipts. Otherwise, your transaction does not become valid. Your transaction becomes something that the law frowns against, and that comes with its punishment. So you need to insist on the issuance of the gold board receipts for every purchase or every transaction undertaken with a licensed buyer or the licensed buyers. And the licensed buyers are also reminded that the non-issuance of the gold board receipts constitutes serious offense and may attract severe sanctions, including, this one will interest, including the suspension or the revocation of their license. So we have made some phone lines available. Our license and regulatory units are on standby for any calls, particularly for those who may have been issued licenses and may not have the gold board receipts.
Okay.
So you may want to call our gold board license regulatory unit on these numbers, and I give your indulgence for talking on this one.
Absolutely.
With your permission. The numbers are 0542 32 5994. 0542 32 5994. Or you can as well call 025 607 2017 and 025 607 2012.
Okay.
So we really appreciate the cooperation of all licensed buyers and in upholding transparency and integrity in the Ghana gold trading industry so far. And this is one of our mechanisms of ensuring that there's transparency, there's accountability within the gold trading industry in Ghana. It's a necessity.
On transparency and how do you plan to surmount challenges like fake receipt books, some of your task force operators, illegally helping some of these license operators to, use the loopholes in the system?
Okay, so yes, I was listening to our good brother Umar Sanda. He drew my attention to a certain fault that usually comes with some of these questions. In order to ask some of these questions, the basis would be that there should be a reasonable justification or suspicion that some of these task force have engaged in any form of illegalities. And if you don't have, then let me draw your attention to something His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said when we outdoored our task force, or we inaugurated the Gold Board Task Force, whose job is to ensure compliance to gold trading, proper way of gold trading, whose job is to ensure compliance to proper way of gold pricing, and their job is also to ensure compliance or to deal with gold smuggling. That's their job. Now, with that forming the basis, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said that, look, anytime these Gold Board Task Force are going to mount an operation, it will be sanctioned by the CEO of the Ghana Gold Board, Lawyer Sammy Genty.
Okay.
So if our CEO has not sanctioned an operation, they cannot move. So you realize that in the spirit of transparency, we've issued a statement stating that we are going to ensure that there is compliance to the issuance of Gold Board receipts in order to ensure validity of the gold transaction.
Okay.
So we've made this clear to the public, and that's one way of ensuring transparency. So number two, we indicated in a statement that the task force will be sent out there on an operation, meaning that this operation has been sanctioned by the CEO of the Ghana Gold Board. So they only move when the CEO has sanctioned that they do so.
Okay.
So I have my doubts, unless you have a reasonable justification for a suspicion that they might engage themselves in any form of activity that will lead to anything that would negate what we are trying to reach out from the gold trading industry.
Right.
Otherwise, this is the modus operandi. This is the mode in which we operate.
Right.
Sanctioned by the CEO before they mount any form of operations.
Okay. Are there any reward schemes, any, incentives to support whistleblowers, some of your task forces who will point you to the direction of illegality when it comes to the issuance of the receipts or the validation of transactions?
No, the reward scheme that we announced was in reference to illegal gold trading, illegal gold pricing, and smuggling.
Right.
But this validity of transaction, which can only be proven with the usage of the Gold Board receipt, that's what comes with such.
Okay.
But however, it will be great if any patriotic citizen will draw our attention to anyone engaging in gold trading without the issuance of the Gold Board receipt.
Right.
You never know.
Okay.
Anything can happen.
All right. Thank you so much. I hope that we'd hear from your outfit when you hit roadblocks when it comes to fake receipts, transactions, validation of the transaction, so that we can educate the people and let people know what to look out for. People in the value chain, the gold value chain, and all of that. So thank you so much for speaking to us and clarifying and explaining all of this and putting the numbers out there that the general public can reach out to. So issuance of the receipts validates the transaction of gold and the measures that Gold Board has put in place to ensure that smuggling is indeed rid of. I've been speaking to Prince Kwame Minka, his media relations officer for Gold Board. Prof. Bruce, okay, let me give Mr. Jan. Mr. Jan, you wanted to touch on Gold Board and the smuggling before I come to Prof.
Interesting. I think what they are doing is a very good thing. We are realizing over a period of time that the gold sector is the sector that will make Ghana, in the export of gold, will make Ghana's receipts much, much, much better in developing Ghana in its poverty challenges that we have. Against this background, we also need to look at this Galamsey matter, which for me is a national security threat now. I saw videos, I think, last week where persons in certain communities were trying to fight policemen and soldiers with guns in their hands.
The IGP's team were even attacked.
You know what? Ostensibly, there's been wars, civil wars in different parts of Africa because of the mineral resources that they had.
Yeah.
DR Congo, Liberia, Nigeria. All these countries went to civil war because of the mineral resources that they had. It is very, very important that we look at this matter in its reality. I'm saying to government that, look, we have about 34 million people in Ghana. 30 million people are not involved in Galamsey. Only 3 million or so are into it. We must find a way to pacify the 30 million people. If we don't do that, can you assume that some renegade soldier or somebody gets ammunition into the hands of the civilians in these villages? The war then starts. The civil war has just started.
Yes, because they'll be able to defend themselves.
It will go on and on, and it becomes a whole civil war. It is against it. When I saw that video, it was a message to government that, look, beware. We are here and we'll fight every day. Yeah. So please, 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 please. There is an AI directive as to how these things can be sorted out, which is, let's look at these methodologies and see how we can, as it were, use the military, reconnaissance, wrecking the grounds, and try to push them out a little bit. Of course, they'll be at a disadvantage, but we'll have to find jobs for them at the end of the day.
Right.
But we cannot allow civilians to be fighting the security services. We are in total war. In fact, the war for me has started. And government must take cognizance of this as a serious matter. Because when you watch their body languages and the comments that we're making, this is not the only village that is in war. All of them will be waiting to have a war. When we had similar issues in Boko, you see the military when they're having seen a flight pass by. It's the same thing that you need to do with this particular problem. And the earlier we get onto it, the better for all of us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Well, as he said, last week the police impounded a vehicle fully loaded with ammunition near Nsaom here. We were just lucky they were able to do that. Who were the owners of those ammunition? Bullets and guns and all that. Where is the destination, as we are saying? There's a target and there's a destination for that. So the police must be vigilant. I really applaud them for having impounded the vehicle. Otherwise, it would have ended in the hands of maybe these people who are engaged in Galamsey or even going to the north. You see, people want to see Ghana burned down into ashes. So they are behind with a mask on their face. And they don't care. I don't know what is their interest. Maybe they want to keep people to have access to their goals and mine the way they want it. Or they want some people to die so that they will go and occupy their land. So let's be careful, and we want to encourage the IGP to actually push his men out there to weed out these miscreants. Otherwise, they will cause havoc for all of us. They will cause havoc for all of us. You see, but, you know, this Galamsey we are saying jokingly, and it seems we are not serious. It is catching up on us. It is really, really catching up on us. So we have to marshal all our forces and prevent Ghana from further devastation and destruction. Otherwise, as for the aquatic life in most of the rivers, they are no more. People cannot use the same water to drink, nor use it for anything. You go to Shama now, the fishermen, they cannot fish because the sea has been polluted where the river Pra entered the sea. The same thing I'm sure is happening in Zima area where the river Cobra is also entering the sea. So why? You know, human beings, it's too much. It's too much. So,
causing harm to themselves.
There are times when people think your leniency to be your weakness.
Yes.
When you try to be nice and accommodating and want it to be done, they think you are weak. But people are not like that.
So drastic measures.
This
is a
this
message.
Not a joke anymore.
No.
Not a joke anymore.
The people are determined, so we must also be determined.
They may be more determined than them even. Okay, earlier on, Prof. Bruce, you're talking about the President, John Mahama, who has, upon recommendation of the Prison Service Council and in consultation with the Council of State in accordance with Article 72(1) of the Constitution granted amnesty to 999 prisoners out of a total of 1,014 recommended, according to the statement signed by the spokesperson to the President, Minister for Government Communications, Mr. Felix Kwachio-Fosu. The categories of convicts affected are first-time offenders, 787 of them, death sentence to be commuted to life imprisonment, 87, life sentences to be commuted to 20 years, a definite term, 51 of them, seriously ill prisoners, 33, over 70 years irrespective of offense, 36 of them, six nursing mothers, 2, and then petitions, some petitions that were given 2 as well. So nursing mothers 2 and petitions 2 as well, tantamounting to 998 prisoners who have been granted amnesty or pardon by the President on consultation with the Council of State and recommendation from the Prison Service Council.
Yeah, it's a good attempt.
We're talking about recidivism.
Yeah, recidivism. Okay. Those who go out, the way society treats them is appointed to them that go back to where you came from because you are not in it. See, they may be suspecting them, even in their journey, the way we relate with them. Sometimes it makes them feel that, oh, I think I better belong to the prison. So they will intentionally do something just to be sent there because they find the prison life to be more loving and more accepting than what is outside of the society.
But if you build a community outside of prison where it's also meant for just prisoners, won't it still feel like they are in prison?
No, that community will be labeled. It will be more devastating than if they are allowed to get back to their families. So what I want to say that before they are released, they must be properly counseled and be made aware to know that these are the possible reactions of the people. But don't mind, you are your own person. Everybody is liable to go to prison. It's just that it is not yet your turn. But once God is ready to forgive us, it's the same way the nation can forgive us. But if you go out and people are saying, why are you forgiven? Don't mind them because they don't like you, they don't love you. They want to see you always in prison so that you cannot unleash the talent God has given you. So that is what I want to call upon all those who are released, that they should not mind the labels, they should not mind the stigma, they should just go about their normal way of life. Start all over again, they will be successful.
Are you confident that our prison or correctional reform system has an impact on these inmates before they come out, for them to even change or repent, or should I say?
The percentage might not be that huge as we expect. But last year, some prisoners from Sawam, they did distance education from University of Cape Coast. Some had first class.
Wow.
They were in prison, but they have first class. Wow. That shows that the prison is having an impact upon their education. And you know, people go there voluntarily offer teaching. Okay. The first time I went to Sawam prison on a visit, it's a country on its own. Wow. They have the DSTV and all those things. So it has an impact on them. So the lifestyle some of them are exposed to, when they come out, they don't get it. Sometimes the treatment, they have a football class, they have a football field, they play. I mean, it's a country on its own. I know you see their classrooms, they go to classrooms to study from junior high school and all those things. So the prison is actually molding them. Just that may not have the resources. So let us all make sure that when you go to prison, that's not the end of your life. So UCC has promised those who had the first class and the second class after that, when they finish their term of a conviction, they will give them scholarship to do their masters.
Wow. Something that maybe if they were out in the world, they
would never have gotten it. You see the point? So everywhere you find yourself, try to look at the positive opportunities within the challenge. You should not give up. That I'm a prisoner and that's the end. No.
That's the end.
You see, so when they go out, they can still forget about the previous experiences and have a new life for themselves and become who they want to become.
Absolutely. I'm sure you commend the churches as well, who I think the Pentecost Church is building prisons across the country. Prison infrastructure system, how few prisons are, the congestion and all of that.
Yeah, if we talk about decongestion, it's a compassionate move. I wouldn't say they are bringing prisons. Okay. Maybe they are providing more accommodations for those who will find themselves there. Our preachings, our teachings will not prevent individuals from doing wrong. But what you have to do is to teach people to have control over their emotions. Many often, the inability to control emotions set us into action. And those actions, they land you into trouble.
Yeah, you hear the stories from the prisoners, it's quite sad.
And also those who are engaging in these illicit drugs, their target is to destroy the youth. So when they engage in substance abuse, when you are under the influence of the substance, you do things that you should have done when you were not under the influence of that substance. So the environment is actually creating the prisoners.
Wow, the environment is creating the prisoners.
Yeah. You are a product of your environment.
There's a huge fight we have there. We're dealing with galamsey, and then we're dealing with drug abuse.
I don't know this. Why will you say drug for somebody to use and he or she engaging? Look at when people became drunk. They fight before you realize you take a cutlass, you start something, and that's your journey to prison.
I mean, in Tamale, for instance, recently they clamped down on some drug peddlers. Women were all involved who are importing this tramadol and all of that from West African countries. It comes from India. I'm sure you've seen that BBC documentary. And the youth there are stoned on drugs. And the MPs have told me that that is their biggest fight now, drug abuse.
Drug abuse. So and it leads to violence.
It's quite sad. Just shout out to the task force in Tamale. Now, because this is very important. You can't have a youth that is stoned on drugs. Who becomes the next, future leaders?
Look,
Mr. Johnny. Okay,
I witnessed someone. This is not gossip, but it's a reality. As a psychologist, we are interested in all those things. They were quarreling, no? They were exchanging hot words. And he said, look, I'll go and take 2 thoughts and show him why powerless. And he quickly moved to a kiosk, got to and came out aggressive. You see, he was hiding behind the power of alcohol and to go and do something unreasonable.
And then his conscience would not.
Yeah, he would block his conscience that, okay, you don't work. Let me do something. You see the point now?
Mr. Johnny. This Amnesty, the prisoners, the president.
I think it's a good thing. People need to have a second chance. Having worked in the field of forensic psychiatry for a period of time, you find that there are crimes that do not need to be part of this program because for them it's an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, murder, arson, all these, heinous crimes are a bit different from the ones that I think you've mentioned now. But I spent too many times with prisoners and trying to differentiate those who are actually wicked and those who, as per misfortune, get themselves involved in the prison circuit. Alcohol, drugs, misbehavior, psychopathic behaviors will you end up there. That is why we've always advised that parenting from ground zero should be targeted to children, and parents should be able to take responsibility over the children, because a lot of shifts in the adolescent age can make you tend to be something else in your adulthood. So I am pleased that the president, I think it happens in many countries that there's some sort of amnesty to these persons.
Absolutely.
I will hope that on their second round they will then behave themselves so that people will say that, well, they had their chances, they've received some sort of rehabilitation, and the world is becoming a better place for all it takes.
Right.
Sometimes you can get yourself into jail without being the real culprit or accidentally getting involved in something.
Yeah.
I remember a case that I saw about a gentleman who there was a fight between few people and he was there. And I think he was the one who touched the person that fell down, knocked his head against the wall and died. And I think he's in someone prison at this moment in time. So, it is not that sometimes you are looking for trouble. Trouble can come to you. It is against that background that you always have to check yourself whilst you are within the community and where you live. Always expect trouble to come. Not that you are going to give trouble. It can come to you. And when it comes, you must have all the tactics to try and shave it off and get yourself out of trouble. When you see people fighting, don't get too involved. Call the police. When you see armed robbery, don't go there thinking you can fight the armed robber. Call the police. That's their job. So we wish them all well. But please behave yourself and don't disappoint us again.
Don't disappoint
And
us
then,
again.
to add, there's an interesting part which we must highlight. The nursing mothers.
Yes.
You see, if you can spend your life with your child in prison as a mother, it's very psychologically devastating. Number one, that child is living with you in an overcrowded space, poor ventilation. Look at the food. Is it nutritious? And lack of exercise for that child. No matter how great that child is born to be, these factors can work against them. We call it postnatal environmental effects. So don't be happy that your infant is free in prison. I don't know at what age, if the mother is not released, the child can be separated from the mother. If it's at the age 5, then the child is already formed. He knew that I'm coming out of prison. Imagine the psychological makeup of that child. So we want to appeal to our mothers that no matter what, you should not go and nurse your child in a prison. It's not a good start place for the child. What is the offense of that child that because of you, your child must be in prison with you? And you see, those who feel somebody offended them, I'm not saying this to back women that they must misbehave. But if you saw a pregnant woman knowing that she's going to deliver the next time, I mean, you can delay the sentence after that. Then you look for somebody who will look after that child. Yeah. But let me zero in also on this. You see, there's a trend developing in Ghana about parenting that we must be very careful of. You see, you go to pick a lady from somewhere and call her a maid who has no experience in parenting, has never given birth to a child before. Because you are a working mother, you hand over all your child to that person to take care of for you. How best? Sometimes they give them alcohol to sleep.
What?
They give alcohol to infants to sleep because she is overwhelmed. She doesn't know how to care for the infant. She has had such no experience. So you see, let us try to build up the nuclear and then the extended family system. There are some motherly and elderly women who are on pension. They are just idling in the villages and in our towns. Why don't we connect with some of these people?
The fear of witchcraft.
You see, that fear is unfounded. That fear is unfounded. You see the point now? You see, I don't know how. Anyway, but let's develop faith in our elderly who have gotten the experience of
because it was working for us. That extended family system was working.
You see, and now children are being damaged. You see the video footages, they are dragging infants on the ground because they're overwhelmed. The cereal, they themselves, they will eat it and the child will go hungry.
Some will force the child.
Some will force the child.
To eat.
Instead of giving them warm water, they will bath them with cold water. The kind of treatment children go through in the hands of mates, it's not because they are wicked, because they don't know how to take care of children. It's not they have never had that experience before, but you trusted that person than your grandmother or your auntie who is on a retirement somewhere. Call her to come and help you. This thing that we also thinking that they are witches, they are wizards and all those, it's not helping us.
It's not at all.
One of the reasons why I love the 24-hour economy in terms of the shift work was to do with this very thing that Prof is talking about, and how, maybe you have a wife who is working 9 to 4. You're also working 9 to 4. How do you balance the children? Who's going to take them out of school? Who's going to take them? All within the period of time, you find that you're supposed to be at work. Yeah. So it's important that if this 24-hour work is going to work for us, we can choose that I was doing day duty, and my wife at the time was doing night duty. So when she comes back to work, the house, she looks at the children to go to school. I'll go to work. And it rotates like that. So the rotation is what helps you. If you can't work, your ward manager might rotate and tell, look, I think you want to do this to fix home problems. That is a crucial part of the 24-hour working environment. The workplace has changed. Working has changed. The last 20 years is a different world that we live in. And we must adapt and change our way of doing things so that we'll be able to cope. I had a friend who lived in Kaswa. the children were going to school in Matayoko. He has to leave class about 4 o'clock in the morning with the children tucked up in the car, come and stay. It's terrible.
Tasking,
Can you travel from Oyibi to Accra this morning? Can you travel from Oyibi to Accra this morning? No. And you have children to go to school. The bankers will come and park their cars at the bank, transfer the children. No. We have to look at ways of managing these things. The children will be too traumatized. They'll go to school by 9 o'clock. They'll start sleeping in the classroom because they can't cope.
I mean, you see the 24-hour economy with the nursing system.
Yes.
The nurses go afternoon shifts, morning shifts. So they are
you
able to
can pick the
manage.
days you want to work and the days that you want to go, they have a day off.
Yes, it's manageable. Hopefully, we all take a cue from all of the advice, gentlemen, that you have given. I want us to move to this Pokwase in Sawam Road. The contractors have returned to site because GPRT was threatening to go on strike if the contractors do not return. I'm sure you'd have seen the footage is devastating of how long vehicles are plying that route and commercial vehicles, private vehicles, the struggle just to get to Kumasi and the other peripheries around that area. And so the contractor is back to site. The Minister of Roads, when he took his turn at the Government Accountability Series, said it was one of the expressways that government is going to be working assiduously to make sure that, it is fixed in time for people to be able to use it. Prof. Bruce.
Yeah, it's a good news because about a month ago, we were going to a church in Ajin Kotoku. We used about 1 hour before from Ofanko to the Ajin Kotoku junction. Very terrible. Very, 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 very terrible. And so we want to thank government for releasing that $77 million. And good time for that road to be constructed. It's not the creation of this present government, but you inherit assets and liabilities. So we pray that they must. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. In July, the middle of July, I was also going to take for some program. We have to use the Eburi by road from Eburi to Nsawam. Otherwise, we are going to waste about 2 hours from Mfanko to
Yeah, there are
Nsawam.
other alternative routes. And some people say that ordinarily those alternative routes should have been fixed so that you divert traffic there whilst the contractors get time.
But we know that when contractors are contracting route, they will make one side and leave the other. But this one, everything is scattered.
That's the
you have
complaints.
No choice. That's the complaint. I don't know if it is the modern technique. The same thing is happening to the road from Kaswa to Winneba Roundabout. It's the same thing. Every place is destroyed. So we thought that one place will be finished, then all the vehicles will be moved there, and then we face. But this one, you have no choice. And so please, the road is very important. It lessens traveling time. It makes traveling very comfortable. And just last week, a Sprinter bus tire got burst, and about 6 people died on the spot.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'm not saying because of that, but because of the nature of the road. It was traveling from Kumasi to Accra. And look at from Pokwase to Accra. It's not far. Those people who are coming to Accra, that was the end of their life. You see, maybe you jump into a pothole and bam, 6 people died at the spot. Just last week.
There are no alternative transport routes.
No.
Because you either fly or you go by land.
So we thank government. And the contractor too, they might do a good job. That road, when it was constructed, those days were very small. Rollins was in Pisgo, inspected that road.
This same Pokwase.
Yeah, it was controlled during Rollins' time. He commissioned it. And he was so happy in Pisgo, moving. It was at fast. But I didn't know how it got deteriorated.
Wow. Mr. John?
Right. In all of this, we need money. And that's why the gold matter for me. I say, Galamsey, pack co-production productivity up. You need to make money before you can fix this roads matter.
Show up revenue.
Yes, you have to make conscious efforts to making sure that the gold is dug properly, sent out properly, money is collected properly, and execute projects. I mean, other countries have done similar things, like lithium Indonesia. That's what they used to develop the country. It went as far as when the unions start making noise about money, there's always money to give. If you don't have money, you always have these problems that will magnify in our heads as if the country is going crazy. We need to make money. The cocoa sector and the gold sector are areas that we must put a lot of emphasis. I was talking here last week about refining the cocoa so that you get better prices for it rather than getting the beans
taken out.
You know, these are practical areas that you look at so that a lot of money is coming in. And then people start shouting, oh, the roads, oh, fix it, fix it, fix it. If we can get about $50 billion a year from gold receipts, they will start getting a bit relaxed. But before that, we'll be seeing these things that look like, oh, the minister hasn't given money to the roads, the contractors. So the contractor
has left the site.
Initially, that's the message I got. But luckily enough, money has been paid. So please, contractor, use your clever ways. I'm not sure this is the only project that you've done with water all over the place. There are ways of drainages and ways to get the water out of the system so the work can go on 24/7, 24 hours. In the night, we expect you to work. Midday, we expect to work. Morning, we expect to work. It should be rotational. Get the guys working. All that has been factored in your budget. So please, work. And let's see something going on there so that we'll all be happy about it. I don't travel out a lot these days. If you invite me, I won't go. I won't go. It's too dangerous to drive these days. Never mind the aircraft. You know, even the aircraft is giving us problems. Never mind the aircraft.
Bland.
I'm not going to travel. I don't travel.
You would eventually travel.
We must fix
Mr.
our roads. And then the road tolls. I went to Argentina.
Yeah, the road tolls.
I went to Argentina some time ago, and the road toll was about 50 or 20 or 30. Oh, yeah. Lots of it. So everybody you go to, you pay no pay, you are gone. Yeah. Every pay no pay, you are gone. I don't see why we should stop the road tolls when you don't have money.
Kofi Kapito said it here yesterday. He said you need revenue to fix it. And even the cost, 5 CD just going in.
It doesn't make sense at all.
You need money.
Understand it.
You need money.
And the PWDs, the people who were working, were also sent out of work. So who conjured this idea that, look, the road toll must, What is this? We don't run the country like that.
Okay.
You can't run the country like that.
I want us now, you can't run a country like that on that note to go to. Also talking about revenue, money, pricing. Guta is in the news. They said cut prices on old stock to ease consumer pressure. That's what Guta is telling its traders. It urges members to slash prices on old stock to clear the goods so that they can make way for new imports. According to the association, the move will unlock capital and ease costs on the market and bring relief to consumers. This comes as a 60-day grace period for price adjustments introduced following the CD's appreciation has expired. Lots of people have been doing the CD APK, slash prices since the CD has been performing against the major trading currencies. Let's go to the phone and speak to Mr. Joseph Obeng. He's president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Good morning, Mr. Obeng. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, my dear.
Great move, you would say. 60 days has elapsed. So what do you expect to see from the traders with compliance to these directives so that consumers will be, feel the relief?
Thank you very much. Prices have adjusted the way it should. And we should all know, especially the imported goods have responded positively to the stability of the city, the way it should. And that if the government statistician even came to confirm this, we have always said that the domestic food items are the reason for the current inflation. Okay. The fact that they still remain high, that's the reason why most Ghanaians say prices have not responded. But for imported goods, yes. We haven't given any directives to anybody to further reduce his or her price. Our PR was responding to a question from one of your sister stations, and he advised, when he was asked about those people who claim that they have the old stocks, he advised them to find a way to dispose of their goods because if the goods are perishable, then of course you overprice it, and then people may not buy, and you destroy your capital.
Right.
So it was on this content that the route story that we are directing that business we do. No, we cannot direct. We can only advise in some cases because we are not in price control regime, and that prices have already adjusted. Stability alone cannot decide the price reduction. It can contribute because we have other things to contend with the restructuring of the VAT to make it more affordable, and then also to make prices cheaper. And then duty, the status quo of duty remains the same. We haven't realigned our taxes as have been promised X. And then the forest itself, we are not getting it through the mainstream commercial banks where the rates are cheaper. We are rather getting it from about over 70% of our transaction rate is derived from the black market. And so if somebody wants reduction, probably their level of expectation, the rate of reduction is what is in contention. But what benchmark rate are they using? Are they using the black market rate as their benchmark of their expectation, or they are using the interbank? So the whole thing is very complex. So it's the market forces that determine the prices. Unfortunately, the Ghanaian consuming public have an advantage because we are in the consumers market rather than the sellers market. In abroad, when you go to supermarket, the prices are fixed. You have no alternative to buy. But here in Ghana, the consumer have every right to come through the market bargain and then reward the one who's selling cheaper and punish the one who sells higher. We leave that to competition. Yeah.
Right. There was a time we heard that, there was shortage of dollars in the market and all of that, like a blowback from how the cedi is performing. But what's your confidence as an association in the cedi? 8 months, it has been stabilized like this. How confident are you that it will go on for longer?
So we've met with the governor on 2 occasions.
Right.
If you recall, I drew the governor's attention to the fact that we do not have access to the forest at the mainstream banks. And he assured that they have it in abundance, where we do not have to be panicked.
Okay.
So the problem is persistent. So we have again met with the governor and said that ever since that promise was given, we are still not getting access to the forest through the mainstream bank, and that is should find solution to that. Else, other people are going to see that the gains, the stability that we are having is artificial. That's what people might say.
Right.
But if you say that we have the forest and we cannot access through the banks, then what is it? It should be explained to us. And so we've discussed with the governor. He in turn says that he's going to find out the challenge from the banks and all that. So we are very hopeful and we trust in the governor, his words. But probably we have to track the flow of the forest when it goes to the mainstream banks. Is it being swallowed by bigger entities to the detriment of the smaller ones?
Right.
Or what is it? Or is it, because we know that when the forest comes, it should come through the commercial banks before going to the forest bureaus. So why is it the forest bureaus are having and the banks are not having? Well, we have to find out the reason, and then probably it will save the situation.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to us. I greatly appreciate the insights and perspectives that you've given us, talking about GUTA meeting even the governor, Dr. Johnson Isiama, to judge on all of the issues about shortage of dollars, prices, trading. And GUTA is calling on traders, for stability in the pricing, to reduce it so that there's relief for the consumers, because the cedi has been doing well, now selling at 10.40, I beg your pardon, against major trading currencies. Mr. Johnny, you have something to say on this? Then we can move to...
Well, I operate within the Accra Central District business, so I know how the behavior of business people are very smart. They are very smart people. The women, they are very, very smart. And they know more about the dollar than even the Bank of Ghana, because they are on the ground all the time and monitoring how things are going because of the profit margins that they make.
Yeah.
And it's very viral. Any issue that starts from a rolling spark can end up at MTTU within a few seconds as to
true.
how the prices have changed, because nobody wants to underprice himself or overprice himself. So they are very good in doing this business like that. We will congratulate them, our mothers. And also for those who want to have a certain budget, you want to buy food stuff for the family on a weekly basis, Agbogboche is a very fine area. And you go there at a time where night is falling and they want to get rid of their goods, you can bargain. My mother always used to say to me, when you go to the market, come like a cheddar. What you get from a cheddar will be even more than what you paid for at a certain point in time in vegetables that they think might go rotten. So you need to, go around and when you go to a place like UK or America, when the price is less than $1, the person will go to the next door and buy from there. You won't buy from the overpriced area. So be conversant with the prices before you buy. Otherwise, you'll be spending more money on your foodstuff. Foodstuffs are very expensive to feed the family these days. You give your wife 500 cedis where you think, oh, she's stolen the money. She hasn't stolen the money. The fish, 1,000, this, 2,000. No. So please, let's do a proper budgeting on how we spend our money and go around and look for best prices so that you can buy for the family.
Prof, we have to go. I wanted you to touch on the unearned academic titles that GTech is saying the Deputy Minister of Health, Grace Ayensu Dankwa, there's been this tussle between her and GTech and other appointees of government, other officials as well. The lawyers of these said persons are also crying foul. For Dr. Ayensu's case, they say she's an adjunct professor and she was awarded by University of Utah in the US of A. She's a surgeon. But GTech is also saying that the academic system here differs from that over there and all of that.
Yeah.
They're going after people.
In Ghana, I think JIMPA, they also use that title, adjunct lecturer. They use it simply to refer to all part-time lecturers.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you're a professor. So that's the name they give to all part-time lecturers, adjunct professor. Okay. Really, you are not a professor. You are just a part-time. So I think it's nothing. She was not into full academia. If she was practicing, maybe they can employ as adjunct lecturer, part-time lecturer, just to come and teach this area. So it's not a title that you should carry, that one. So all those people who are called adjunct lecturers at JIMPA, they cannot say they are professors. But then too, you see, GTech, they must also warn our universities or caution them. There are some students, genuine students, who are reading their Doctor of Philosophy, PhD. They are reading those programs for 4, 5, 7 years. Some have abandoned, some have left because of the attitude of their supervisors. So it is becoming very hard to get a PhD in Ghana. They must talk to the universities, to talk to their supervisors.
Okay.
You see?
So people prefer to go abroad?
People prefer to go outside. If there is a place that I can get this without sweating, after I've gotten, then you tell me that no, it's not recognized.
But Prof, why is it so?
It's left with them.
Why is it so?
You see, no. Ghanaians, for you to get a PhD, now maybe they are changing. We ourselves are making the system very stressful. If they give me a student now, he call me, he won't get me. He'll come and go and write. There's a student, as I speak now, he finished everything. They were in group, 3 of them. They finished the thesis and they brought it to their supervisor to sign. You look at it, oh, I'm sorry, go and change your topic.
Let me just come in here. Prof, let me just come in here for one moment. Where supervisor says to you, I got very tired before I got through, so you too must get tired. Yeah. Can you believe that? I got very tired before I was able to pass through, so you too must go through the whole process. It's the daftest thing I've ever heard a supervisor say. Academic work is academic work. It's either you can do it or you can't do it. You can't pretend to be intelligent.
No.
Yeah. You can never pretend to be intelligent.
In the end, we refer to so many people. That knowledge is not yours. You are only gathering knowledge to guide you to do something.
Absolutely.
You see the point now? So, and then the universities too, you see, when students are suffering to get their PhDs, then somebody out of a blue, because you have become a politician or something like that, then your congregation say, we have given you honorary doctorate degree. Free like that. Honorary doctorate degree, which the person will not use. Now, for you to teach in the university, you need to have the minimum of PhD before they will accept you as a lecturer. Other than that, you are assistant lecturer. So when people sweat like this before they become a lecturer, you say in university, you just go on your congregation and say, oh, come, we've given you honorary doctorate degree free like that. Why? We should stop also awarding honorary doctorate degrees.
You know that in America, in certain fields, they'll look at the demographics, look at the number of doctors that they have, and if there's a huge shortage of doctors, they have a way of passing people through, so that they can accommodate the public.
Right.
You know, you can't say that because we have excess what we call vacancies, we are still going to maintain that you pass. The public will be the public health will be at a disaster. It's the same thing that we are talking about here. You must be do a bit of balancing act on how these degrees are awarded. I hope they were not saying that Professor Azuma Anderson too will have to.
Mr. J.
If there's a sports department and there's a department of boxing, he's the best person to come and do. So he's a professor.
We don't have to write anything, though. We don't have to write anything.
He will teach you a master class. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming on the show. That's it for the headline segment. I am Multi Decider Sadiq. I've been speaking to always Professor Daniel Bruce, who is a clinical psychologist, and Mr. John Kukujan, a forensic psychiatrist specialist. Lots you have unpacked on this segment. My costume is by No Rush Collection. A good morning to Alaji Farhan of the Ghana Commercial Bank. Alaji Desba. We're back with more. Thelma brings you more on GTV Breakfast.